Hi there guys, my name is Aaron and you can learn, make and create together with me in Adobe Photoshop. Today I'm going to show you how you can edit this portrait step by step using some actions. So without any further ado, let's get started. So here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and as you can see, this portrait that is looking really good. And a huge thanks to the Victor Bez who is providing us these amazing raw files. A huge thanks to him. And before we dive into today's video tutorial, please don't forget to check all the links down in the description, because you will find the raw file, retouching actions, and everything else that you need to know about high-end beauty retouch. So first thing first, after you have downloaded, as I said, the raw file, and you want to follow my step-by-step process, and you have downloaded the retouching actions, you go to window and click here that says actions, and here we have a bunch of actions that you are going to find in the creators bundle pack 2024, a huge discount, and you don't want to miss that because it's limited. And today I'm going to use the makeup artist retouching actions 2023. So first thing first, I'm gonna click here that says clean and black and white help layer, click play, wait until it's done, and here we have two different layers. One of them is clean layer that says clean here, and one of them is a black and white help layer. So I'm going to start in the cleaning layer with the spot healing brush tool. I want to zoom in. For example, I'm going to turn off the black and white help layer right now. I will zoom in here in the forehead and I will start cleaning this amazing portrait. And right now I am using this brush. Let me just check. Right click. And for the hardness, go by 0, spacing 1%, and size depends on what you're cleaning into this portrait. And make sure that is pan pressure. If you're using a pan for a touch, just like this, you can increase this one, and it will be only with a pan pressure. Or for example, if you're using a mouse, you can just click here on the sides and click off. So this is how you clean with a pen or with the mouse. So enough with the talking, because I'm going to speed up this part because it's only a general clean. So here we have a before and after. As you can see, that is looking a little better. So here's a before, here's an after. And now that we are done with some basics of the cleaning, I'm just going to merge the clean layer with the background. So click Control and click here, right click and click here that says merge layers into a single one. Leave the black and white layer for later. And now that we are done with the clean, I'm gonna make some changes into the face, into the lips. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this to the plus like this. Click here that says filter and click here that says liquify. So I'm gonna zoom in where I want to make some changes. For example, I'm gonna make some changes here on the lips and click here that says forward warp tool. And right now I'm gonna use the size by 600, density by 12, pressure by 12, and rate by 0. I'm gonna zoom in just a little more, and with a smaller brush I'm going to make the changes to the lips just like this to create a better shape of them. It's not that they are not looking that good, but in retouch this is what we do. Click OK. So here's the before and after, which is looking quite good, but I think that I'm gonna leave the bottom lip like it was before. Like I'm gonna click here again, filter, and click here on the liquify again, zoom in and just make some changes just a little on the bottom lip and click OK. So here we have a before and after. As I said, small changes, but they look better. So I'm gonna merge both of them again and go back to the actions. And now that I'm done with the cleaning, it's time for some dodge and burn. So I'm gonna click play on the dodge and burn and just open the dodge and burn group, zoom in, and turn on the black and white tile player. But one more tip that we can add to the black and white tile player, you can create another adjustment. So click here on the adjustments and click here that says black and white, and just slide this into the left, the reds and the yellows, and as you can see, we can see more details for the portrait that we want to dodge and burn. Click here on the dodge, click B for brush. Sorry, this is a cloud brush, but we need to go to the general brushes and click here that says soft round brush, and make sure that opacity is 100 and make sure that flow is 1%. Click OK. And one more tip that I do, for example, in the dodge and burn, is that I divide one window in two windows. So we need to do that. So click here on the window, click here that says arrange, and click new window for the name of the file that we are working. Go back to window, click arrange, and choose to op vertical. So here we have the same file in two windows. So what we are going to do in this part is that we need to dodge and burn, but when you dodge and burn, you need to zoom in and zoom out. And in case for not to do that, we leave the left window in the zoom out just as it is, for example, right now. So in the right window, we zoom in as much as possible as we need, of course. So when we zoom in, as you can see, we keep an eye on the left. So whatever that you are doing in the right window, it will be shown up in the left. So click B for brush, make a smaller brush just like this, and keep an eye, as I said, in the left window. So check out, as you can see, whatever that we do in the right window, it will be shown in the left. So this is how you can dodge and burn like a professional. And for example, the dodge and burn, it will take more time. So the more that you dodge and you burn into a portrait, the better the portrait will look. So take your time and do the dodge and burn as good as possible. So let's just speed up this part because it's only with a brush. So here we have a before and after, and I think that is looking better. Now I'm gonna close the left window. So here's before and here's an after, and check only the dodge, which is looking really good. And I think that I'm going to lower down the opacity just a little and click on the burn, which is looking okay. I'm going to reduce it too. So here's before and after only of the dodge and burn. And now that I'm done with the dodge and burn, I'm going to merge both of them into a single layer again. Click merge layers. Now again to the actions, and now it's time for the frequency separation. Just click play and wait until it's done. Open the frequency separation group, and here we have, so the frequency separation is that it separates the color from the texture. So first we work in the color, and after we are done with the color, we work in the texture. So I'm going to turn off the texture right now. I'm gonna zoom in. In the mixer brush, usually I work with a mixer brush. Here we have the mixer brush. So the settings that I'm going to use right now are by wet by 10%, load by 33, mix 33, and the flow by 45. And I just start mixing the skin tones with the general brushes. The first one, that is soft round brush, and just like this I mix the skin tone of this portrait just like this. So this portrait will look better when we are done with the frequency separation. And make sure that you don't overdo this part, because if we do, the portrait will look flat and we don't want that. So just like this, just smaller changes, not that much, as you can see. And if we overdo this, we are going to reduce it later. Don't worry about that. So here is a before and after only of the frequency separation, and it's looking really good. But as you can see, we removed some of the highlights in the color part. So in case to do that, we can just double click here, and as you can see, the layer style will pop up. So here we have our underlying layers, here we have the highlights and the shadows. So we want to reduce the frequency separation, the color thing that we did, to retrieve the highlights. So click Alt keyboard and hold it, and click here on the highlights, separate this one, and just slide this into the left. And as you can see, the highlights will be brought to life. So here we have a before and after. Here's before and here's an after. And I think that is looking okay. Now that we are done with the color, it's time for the texture. So in the texture, we work with the clone stamp tool. Make sure that sample says current layer and opacity is 100 and flow is 100. We want, for example, we zoom in where we want to clean the texture. So in case to clean the texture with the clone stamp tool, you need to hold Alt keyboard, just click and hold, and just click with the mouse just like this to copy and release the Alt keyboard, and just paint to paste. So copy, paste, copy, paste. And in this case, you need to copy paste as near as possible because the texture need to remain as it is in that section. For example, if we copy the texture here and we paste it here, as you can see, the texture will look fake, absolutely. So keep this in mind, that you need to copy paste as near as possible in case that texture will look better. Just like this. So take your time with the texture thing too, because it will take some time to clean the portrait and make it as good as possible. So here's before and here's an after, and I think that is looking okay. One more thing that I'm gonna work in this process is that I need to fix the lips color. As you can see, it's kind of just a little outside. So I'm gonna create a shape with the pen tool here. Just start creating that selection of the lips. Just like this. The bottom lip is looking really sharp and really good, so we need to make the selection around that as good as possible, just like this. And click here that says make a selection, and feather radius, I think that I'm gonna go by 0.5 pixels, and go back to the color and invert the selection by click Ctrl Shift and I, so the selection will be outside the lips. Click again to the mixer brush tool and just work around the lips, around the color that was outside, just like this. Now check it before and after, which is looking really good. Now click here on the texture, and with the clone stamp tool, copy paste the texture around the lips, just like this. And now we want to work inside the lips, so click Ctrl, Shift and I again to invert the selection. So right now is inside the lips. Now click here on the color. With the mixer brush, we are going to work only in the color of the lips, just like this. In case that to do this process faster, you need to increase the wet and the flow. But right now I'm gonna leave the flow as it is because I think that the brush is okay. Now check it before and after, which is looking better. And for example, we need to click here on the texture too, and to remove these kind of lines to make the lips look better, just like this. We have some color to work. And I think that this part is looking not that good, so I'm going to invert the selection again and work just a little more. Make sure that you work in both things, like in the color, in the texture, just like this. So here is a before and after, you can zoom in. So here's before and here's an after. And as you can see, the lips are kind of too sharp with this selection that we did. So in case to make things smoother, sorry, we need to click here on the blur tool and make sure the strength is 100 and just paint over there, just like this. Now check a before and after, and as you can see, the lips are still too sharp. So to break that, I'm going to make a selection. Sorry, we need to duplicate the color just one more time, as you can see, and go to filter, blur, and add some Gaussian blur. And as you can see, the radius pixels are it was 13 and it was too much. So we are going to increase the radius just a little. Click OK, and we need to remove that the highlights thing that we did before. Click OK. So here's before and after only on the lips, and create a layer mask here and invert this into the black. So there is nothing happening. So we need to make to take a brush with 100% opacity and 100% flow and just paint here in the layer mask to make the lips softer in the runs in this part, for example. And here we have a before and after, which is looking better. I'm going to reduce it just a little. So here's before and after what we did in the frequency separation, sorry, and I think that is looking okay. And now that we are done with the frequency separation, I'm going to merge both of them into a single layer again and go back to the actions, because right now it's time for the makeup details, the adjustments that we are going to put into this portrait. So right now I'm going to click here on the eyes retouch, click continue, click OK, wait until it's done, zoom in where we want to work. This one is to remove the waves, but since we removed them in the beginning, we don't need to use that right now. And click here on the brightening and just paint over the white of the eyes. So you have to be gentle in this part, because we don't want the highlight to be outside the white of the eyes. So here's the before and after, and we are going to reduce it by 50%. Now click here on the eyeball brightening, zoom in and just paint inside the eyeballs. Do the process in both of them. Now check a before and after, which is kind of too much, so I'm going to reduce it. And click here on the iris contour and just paint inside to create some nice contours around the eyeballs, just like this. So here's before and here is an after, which is looking really good. I'm going to reduce it just a little. So here's before and here's after, and merge both of them into a single layer. Now click here that says darken eyebrows if we want that, but I'm going to leave it as they are. So darken eyelashes is a go. So I'm just gonna click play and paint over there on the eyelashes, just like this. So here's before and after, and I think it's okay, but I'm going to reduce it just a little. Merge both of them, click here on the smoky eyes, click play, and for example, if we want some smoky eyes, I'm just gonna paint over there to make the makeup look even better. So here's before and after, and again merge both of them. Click here on the mascara, click play if we want that. Just paint over there on the eyelashes with 100% brush, and as you can see, they look really good. But I'm going to reduce it by 25 and merge. And click here that says eyeshadow, pick a color that you want. Click play maybe twice. And for example, I'm going to choose a red color that is inside the lips, and I'm just gonna paint it here to make things even better. So this one is a great tool for the makeup artist. And if you're a makeup artist and you're watching this video tutorial, please don't forget to do this process. If you forgot, for example, in your makeup thing, or you want to change the color, for example, as I did the red color, you can even choose a different color. For example, the blue, maybe a darker violet, something like this, purple, and just paint it over there, just like this. Oops, sorry. You have to take some time and do this process gentle, because as you can see, you will create some nice colors, and you have to reduce the opacity by 50% maybe, and it will look better. But I'm gonna stick with this red color that I did. So again, I'm gonna copy the color that is inside the lips and just paint it over there. So here we have a before and after, and I'm going to reduce it just a little, maybe 60, 65, something like that. Merge of both of them and click here eyeshadow pop, click play, and just paint it over there for the makeup details, especially about the eye makeup. So here's before and after, which is looking even better. So again, merge both of them, and dark nostrils are not looking that bad. So I'm gonna go to the cheeks and click play and just paint it over there to create this cherry cheeks color effect, just like this. You have to zoom out, check a before and after, and they're looking okay. I'm going to reduce it just a little and merge both of them. Here we have the lipstick color, but since we have a red color inside the lips, for example, let me just make a selection around the lips and just paint it over there. Turn on a lipstick color just like this. It will not happen anything because we have this solid red color in the lips, and it will not do anything. For example, if you want to change into the green, blue or something like that, you need to have less color of the lips. But as I said, since we have this solid red color, we can do anything. So I'm going to delete it, and here we have a before and after of what we have done so far. And now that I am done with makeup details, it's time for some sharpen. Just click play, click continue, click OK. And as you can see, the layer mask is black, so we have to switch it into the white by clicking Ctrl and I. You can zoom in, check a before and after, and reduce this opacity by 40. Now click here that says basic contrast. So we are going to add some contrast to the portrait, and I think that is okay. I'm going to reduce it by 35 and click here the face contour, click stop, and here we have a before and after. So in the contour tool, we need to we need to double click here. And I'm going to show you that this one is for the highlights, and this one is for the midtones in case you want to make some changes, and this one is for the shadows. So here you have a before and after here. So here's before and here's after, here's before and after. So I'm gonna create a group for the contour, and click here on the layer mask and invert the layer mask into the black. So I'm gonna put the contour only on the face, just like this. So here's before and after, and I think that is looking okay. I'm going to reduce it just a little and merge all of them into a single layer. I'm gonna delete the black and white help layer because we don't want that right now. Here we have a before and after, and now that we are done with retouch, makeup details and everything else, I'm going to click here on the Elegance look and click play. And you need to click here on the background. You need to click again. As I said, you have to have only one layer in the layer section, which is the background, and just click play. So as you saw, this won't work if we have two more layers or so. And as you can see, the layer mask is black, so we have to switch into the white by clicking Ctrl and I. Now check a before and after, and I think that is looking okay, but I'm going to leave as it was in the black layer mask and paint only on the face, just like this. But don't worry, because we are going to rearrange the opacity of the layer, just like this. Or you can even, for example, click here, select subject, and wait until the subject is done, and just paint inside the layer mask, just like this, with a brush, 100% opacity. Just paint it over there. So here we have a before and after, This one is great for the eyes. For example, if you zoom in, wait, just like this, here's the before and after, which is looking absolutely great. And for example, we want to remove this effect from the shadows. As I said before, you need to double click on the layer and the blending layers, the layer style, the underlying layer will pop up, and click Alt and just hold it and click here and slide this into the right, sorry, just like this, and you can see that effect will be gone from the shadows, just like this. And in case that you think that this Elegance look is way too much, you can always reduce the opacity by 40% maybe, something like that. So here's before and after, which is looking really good, and merge both of them into a single layer. So here's before and here's after, here's before and here's after. And now that we are done with the makeup and everything else, for example, you can even put some colors in the nails. And if you want to do that, you can just create an empty layer here, zoom in and just create a shape around the nails, just like this, with a pen tool. Click OK, right click and click here that says make selection. Make sure that feather radius is 0 pixels and just click here and click on the solid color. And as you can see, the red color that it was, it will pop up. Click OK. Switch the blending mode from normal to multiply and check it before and after, which is looking okay. We need to zoom in. And for example, if you see here, we have some as I said, you need to create a selection, but you need to create a better selection, and we don't want this thing. So from normal to multiply, just double click here and slide the highlights just like this. And as you can see, the highlights will pop up, and check it before and after. And if you want to change the nails color, for example, you can double click here and just move the color until you find your right one. But I think that I'm gonna stick with this red color, just a brighter one, and slide this into the left. The opacity should be less than 100 maybe, because they don't look that good. And here we have the layer mask. We need to paint just a little more, because as I said, you need to create a better selection around the nails, like this. And as you can see, the lines are way too sharp, so we need to smooth them. Just double click and the properties will pop up, and increase the feather just like this. Oops, not that much, maybe 3 or 2.5, something like that. Now check a before and after, which is looking okay. For example, you can even play with the layer style from multiply, maybe soft light or color, or depends on what will fit better for the portrait. As you can see, the linear burn looks good, but I'm going to stick with the multiply, and I'm gonna create some other selection for the other nails. So here we have a before and after of the nails, and I think that they are looking good. But I'm gonna add some more adjustments to the nails, because I think they kind of look fake. So I'm gonna switch the color maybe into a darker one, I don't know, lighter, or maybe leave them as they are. Click OK. Now click here on the selective color and choose the red and zoom in just a little. And click here that says create clipping mask, and just move the color sliders until we find that best color that we are looking. And I think that is looking okay. Now check it before and after. Now click here again, click selective color and create clipping mask. Click here on the whites, zoom in. This one is for the highlights, and slide this into the left. And as you can see, nothing much is happening. Now check all the nails, and if you think they are too sharp, just click here on the layer mask and click here on the blur tool and just blur that shape that you created before. And if you think that they're looking good, leave them as they are. Just this part, it's kind of looking fake, so we need to paint just a little more with a brush, just like this. And I think that is okay. Now check it before and after again, and I think that is looking perfect. In the before and after, as you can see, the left arm that is holding the lipstick is kind of looking not that good. So we need to go to the frequency separation again, click play, wait until it's done, and click here on the color. Make sure that you are using the mixer brush in the color layer. Zoom in and just mix the skin tone color around this part, just like this. This was a process that we needed to do before, but I didn't see that because I was so focused on the base of the model, just like this. So here's before and after, which is looking better. Work just a little more. Now check it before and after, and I think that is okay, but I'm going to reduce it just a little more. And I think that 68 is okay. Now merge both of them. And now that I am done with everything else, as you can see before and after, it's time for some color grade. So in the color grade section, here we have the color grade light skin. I'm going to use the A7, click play, wait until it's done. And as you can see, 100% is kind of way too much. So I think that I'm gonna go by 35. Now check a before and after of everything that we have did here in this video tutorial. I'm going to merge the color grade too. So here's before and here's after. I'm gonna zoom in just a little. Here's before and here's an after. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please don't forget to check all the links down in the description, because as I said in the beginning, you will find the raw file, retouching actions, and everything else. Leave some comments down below. Let me know if I am understandable or not. Leave some comments down below if you learned something from me or not. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.